stop. That's how it goes. Watch out, 'cause I'm in my
The hardest games in sports to get up for, but as soon as the ball goes up, we are set for what could be an absolute classic. It's a fight for bronze between the Southern Hoiho and the Whai, who are looking to go out on a high. The Hoiho gave everything they had last night, including 44 threes, and almost got the job done against the reigning champs, while the Whai took on the Ferrari that are the Kahu and just ran out of gas in the second half. I'm Brooke Rusko, joined by Casey Frank. Great to have you here with us on this one in Porirua, Rauparaha Arena. And Casey, like I said in that, it's one of the hardest games to get up for. But as soon as the ball goes up, I know we're in for a good game.
Look, nobody wants to play for rose gold. Let's call it what it really is, bronze. But third place better than fourth. And the fact of the matter is, if it's worth playing, it's worth winning. You're going to go out there, get some bragging rights, and end the season on a high.
Absolutely. You want to finish the season on a high. Now, the million-dollar question is, how did we get here? Why are neither of these teams playing in the final? In the Kahu, they did what they came here to do. They want to go one better, and they put on a clinic last night, 105-80 against the Whai. The Queens, it was a tough game against the Hoiho. They gave everything they had, but that's your grand final, the Kahu and the Queens. It is going down right after this, 6 p.m. tonight here at Rauparaha. Now, if you missed any of the games last night, the first one, Tara Reid, she got the team going for the Kahu in that first quarter.
Oh, look, the Kahu speed was electric. The Whai came out in that first quarter, did a nice job of keeping pace, 22-22 after the first quarter, but you see by the final score after that, it was all Kahu. Michaela Callan was held a little bit under check. Tess Madgen, fantastic as that game went along. They were really struggling to keep her out of the paint. Her scoring really lifted the Kahu. Wilson was solid. McKenna Dale, probably the best of them, but foul trouble limited her options. And at the end of the day, the talent of the Kahu just outshone the Whai.
And their starting five that they have are formidable. Now, semi-final number 2, Chrislyn Carr, she put her mark on the game nice and early.
She certainly did. She came out scoring the basketball excellently. The Hoiho, obviously, under the pump without Ashton Prechtel, but Zoe Richards, solid double-double, but it was Elise Hurst, electric from behind the arc. We'll touch more on her later. Herself and Paige Bradley led from behind in the perimeter. 52 points in combined. Almost willed them to victory, but in the end, Chrislyn Carr and Stella Beck down the stretch. Too good, especially Stella Beck, with 10 points in that fourth quarter. If not her, I think it might be the Hoiho playing for the title today.
Absolutely. Now, we'll take a look at the starting five for the Hoiho. Solid lineup there, but once again, the one that might have got them across the line, she isn't playing again tonight, the MVP of the league, Ashton Prechtel. She's walking around with some Travis Scotts and a foot brace as well.
Well, what's impressive to me, without Prechtel, still able to rebound. A nice job by them, but it's all about Bradley. It's all about Hurst. An interesting change in the lineup. Mitchell in the starting lineup tonight. She was so excellent yesterday.
She absolutely was. Now, the man who was the coach of the year, Todd Marshall. Casey, you caught up with him just before this. And let's take a look at the starting five for the Whai as we bring it up right here. And Casey, even without seeing her right here, there's one omission that we will not see, and that is Sagara, and there's a reason that she isn't playing tonight. A big loss for them.
Yeah, certainly without Sagara, they are limited. She played about 10 minutes yesterday, but was unable to affect the game with 0 points. I'd be surprised if we see her today. She's got a contract in 9 days. She's starting her next one. And for third place, probably not worth risking a player of her caliber, despite how much she could help the squad.
Well, that lady on the screen, she is going to be playing. She is an absolute beast out there. And one player that you would love to coach, you caught up with Coach Mel Bennett just before this. Let's take a look at the head-to-head, the team head-to-heads, and we'll put them together. This is from last year and this year, but all it comes down to is the game behind us. But Case, what do you take away from this?
Well, look, you always want bragging rights, so you're going to be looking for the Whai to get a little bit closer. The Hoiho actually play a slower pace, but they have that higher scoring average on the season. Field goal percentage is about the same, but Elise Hurst, McKenna Dale, it's all about that flame from behind the arc today with those two players.
Well, let's talk about Elise Hurst a little bit more, because last night she played a whole bunch of minutes. She did not come off, and she almost got the job done for her Southern Hoiho.
Look, 40 minutes, that's an incredible effort. That may affect her fatigue a little bit today, but look at that shooting. 8 for 18, a lot of shots. That's why you see she didn't get to the TAB stripe very often, just 2 for 3 there. She's not worried about getting to the cup. She's not a driver, she's a shooter, and she's gonna expect a lot more pressure from Wilson and possibly Cowling out there on the perimeter today.
Well, speaking of pressure, there's a reason that she didn't get to play the whole game is because she was putting pressure on the defense, but picked up a whole bunch of fouls. McKenna Dale, they need her out there for a little bit longer. Foul trouble hurt her, but still had 26 points.
Well, fantastic in transition. She was getting those quick early looks before defenses could rotate out to her. That's why she got those 6 triples. But those 30 minutes, 5th foul in the 3rd quarter, and from that point on, the Phi were just outclassed. There wasn't enough talent on the court. She is very key on both ends of the court to the Phi's chances of coming away with the victory tonight.
Well, let's set this one courtside. Nick, I'm going to throw it over to you. It is almost tip-off for 3rd place.
Cheers, Brooke and Casey. Here's Nick Bewley here with Megan Compain alongside 3 plays 4. Our Coin officials on court. And Megan, really 2 contrasting styles in it between these 2 teams. We've got a Whai team who love to throw the 3-ball up versus a Hoiho squad leading the league in offensive rebounding. And that isn't a strength of the Whai either.
From the Whai, but also they're really disruptive on defense. They like to get in the lanes and like to pressure and like to put a bit of heat on the ball so they can get that transition offense going, whereas the Hoiho, just that fundamental, relentless kind of defensive, crashing the boards, getting those second chance opportunities in the paint. They're just like one of those hard-working teams. It's going to be really interesting how it cracks out tonight. Is it going to be the flashy style, or is it going to be the hard-working nose to the grind?
Absolutely. Looking forward to watching McKenna Dale once more. A great game yesterday with 26 points, and that loss to the Kahu with 6 threes. You see the ball presented. A young local here in Porirua.
Big smiles there by Michaela Cowling. I had a chance to have a chat to her earlier in the season, and we talked about the international stars that are here in this league this year, and we're going to see some on display. But obviously the big missing link for the Hoiho is Ashton Prechtel.
The MVP of this league. To see her on the Hoiho bench, but very much prefer to see her on the court. Zoe Richards has had to pick up the slack, and expect to see more of her. Here we go. Playoff for 3rd is underway, and the Hoiho will have first possession. And Richards down low, the mismatch with Wilson. Spin move, and hits it.
A lovely move from Zoe. She knew what she wanted to do. Back to the basket. Nice little turnaround jump shot.
Oh, we saw her out here about an hour before tip-off, just by herself, warming up, and she's straight into her work. It's Wilson, let's fire from 3. What a hot start.
That was deep. That was 2 feet back from the 3-point line, and it's a great start for both teams.
Well, that's what the Whai do. They put up the 3-ball. Average about 38 attempts from beyond the arc a game as Zoe Richards just puts the head down.
She just, every time she's touching the ball, these last couple of games, she's obviously showing why she was being named the most improved player of the league in 2023.
Double-double yesterday against the Queens, 14 and 11 for Zoe Richards. A little quiet, but already 4 points in the first minute here is that one from Flavel. Doesn't drop, but a second opportunity here for the Whai through Alia Wilson. And here come the Hoiho now. Richards. They go to the hot hand once more. Zoe Richards can't get it to go, but a trip to the TAB.
She certainly has decided that she wants to take the ball in her hands. With there's something that the coaches and staff have been talking about, having a bit of that size to mismatch and going straight to the hole, and she gets rewarded going to the TAB.
First foul on Cowling. Seems pretty apologetic about it too, Michaela Cowling.
Always big smiles there from Michaela.
Zoe Richards remains flawless, 2 from 2 from the field. That's the first at the TAB, has all 5 points. The mocker on it there, but it almost gets a long rebound. In fact, Tyler Mitchell cleans up. Eventually ends up with the Whai and Jade Kitasoma. Here they come. Wilson. And one opportunity for Alia Wilson. That's the Wilson and Richards show early doors.
Oh, it certainly is. What a strong move. Great body position. She knew she had a little bit of that mismatch, just held her position in the air. got it to go down and rewarded with the three-point play.
Impressed by her physicality yesterday, Alia Wilson, 18-5-5. It's the long rebound. And now Michaela Cowling, one of the smoothest J's in the league.
I could just watch her all day, honestly. That athleticism and that shot, that was just absolute textbook, picture perfect.
Defensive Player of the Year, member of our All-Star 5 is Paige Bradley now from T.
And the Hoiho will be pleased to see Paige Bradley getting on the points board early. She ended up with the game and 20 points last night, but she was slow to start.
15 points inside the first couple of minutes. A license to entertain these two teams battling for bronze. Look at the pace that the Hoiho playing with. Hurst, can she catch fire early from three? Not on this one. Hit 8 threes yesterday against the Tokomanawa Queens. This is just frenetic basketball, end to end, helter-skelter. Back with the Hoiho now with Hurst. Bradley, lovely find, Zoe Richards.
Underneath, wide open, a little bit of that confusion with the transition going back and forth, finding Zoe Richards all alone under the basket.
Zoe Richards has 7, the Hoiho lead by 3. Here's Cowling now, Tyler Mitchell in front. Get it back to Alia Wilson, she's got a bit of distance. Nice handle there and move, Alia Wilson.
You love to see that. But she's really come alive. I think that she's found her pace this end of the season. But Paige Bradley on the cut. Samara Gallagher finding her point guard teammate. And an easy 2.
Quick 5 points for Paige Bradley. It's Kitasoma now just to put a move on Bradley. Does well, and here come the Hoiho once more. Bradley, extra pass. Hurst catches Kitasoma in the air and nails it.
That was just what textbook poetic, wasn't it? And I'm just starting to feel like I'm going to eat my words saying that the Hoiho were a little bit of the more slow it down, get the ball in the half court, none of this run and gun style, and they're proving me wrong the first 4 minutes of this game.
Oh, it's been breakneck speed. The Hoiho shooting at 75% from the field, 6 from 8. Kitasoma's going to have to get a shot up here late in the shot clock. And apologizes for the unawareness of the clock situation, and the Hoiho will have a chance to build on their 6-point lead here.
And the Hoiho did that really well last night against the Queens and started when they were getting a few runs. Their defense actually led to their offensive pressure.
Oh, great work, speaking of defensive pressure. Elise Hurst, McKenna Dale opens her account.
It certainly does. We know that McKenna Dale can score the ball. They should be wanting to, whoa. And there we go. Zoe Richards recognized the mismatch underneath, and she is just going to work. 9 points for Zoe Richards. Not even halfway through the first quarter. Alia Wilson now. Got a physicality down low, can't get the shot to go. Here come the Hoiho. Paige Bradley. American import. Great work by Kitasome. Tidies up as well. Oh, steals on both ends. Gallagher now. Keep up.
It's a bit like that, isn't it? It's hard to be a play-by-play commentator in this game. It is breakneck speed.
Because I'm just looking at you wondering. I'm following your lead, mate, because I don't know where to pick up from. This thing is just lightning fast.
30 points in 5 minutes as Paige Bradley finally calls a play, I think. First time in this ball game.
How about that?
We'll settle things down a touch. Bradley with nothing at all. Flavel in front. And she'll put it up, Paige Bradley, from the TAB. And she remains flawless for the afternoon.
So, well, look at the pace at the 5, bringing the ball up the court. What a great look up the floor for a running McKenna Dale.
I don't even think our bench here reset the shot clock on that one. That was how quick it was. Goodness gracious me.
I'm tired watching this.
Gonna need a lie down in between this and the grand final. 6 o'clock between the Queens and the Kahu. It's Mitchell tries to get to work again. And 3 in the key is the call. Turnover on the Hoiho and subs in. Young Palace Hokianga.
I might take a breath if that's all right with you.
That was gonna be my opportunity. Great to see the youth player of the year into the ball game, Palace Hokianga for the Whai. Just going to get a touch here. Dishes it off to the defensive player of the year, and Michaela Cowling. finds Hidawani in the corner. It's far off from Alyssa Hidawani. Another rebound, Paige Bradley. But great work again, Alia Wilson. Who has it now? Dale catches Roberts here in the air. Gets it back to Alia Wilson. A little long. Good work there by Hokianga. She took one in the ribs by the looks and might have just stepped out of bounds. It's going to be Hoiho possession.
And the Whai looking to crash the boards early. A little bit of a triangle play there to get the wide open three. And great opportunity to just put a little bit of pressure on, slow the ball down by crashing the boards.
Whai just 1 from 6 from 3 so far. It's Bradley to that explosive start. Getting the offensive system here. Tyler Mitchell. Great hustle after the air ball from Tyler Mitchell. That's going to be last touched off the Whai.
I talk about that. That's that Hoiho mentality, isn't it? It's the you're not out of it until the ball's out of bounds, and they've done that so well all season, crashing the boards, creating those second chance opportunities. 5
seconds on the shot clock here for the Hoiho. Are they aware? Hurst sends it. Not far off, Elise Hurst. Wilson now, again, pushing the pace. Almost got ahead of herself, and here come the Hoiho now, 3-on-1 opportunity. Bradley caught in 2 minds, eventually puts it up. Tidies up the rebound. Sophie Adams onto the floor for the Hoiho. And we're going to have a stoppage here, perhaps a issue with the clock.
Was that a foul call?
Would have been a foul off the ball. On the fight as Alia Wilson takes a seat.
But again, we saw that three-on-one play. Good job on defense coming back. Left Paige Bradley wide open for the shot. Missed it, but got a hand on the ball to get the rebound back.
Great work by Amy West early in this game. Off the bench. 7 seconds on the shot clock here for the Hoiho. Cowling providing a nuisance on the inbound. Richards eventually with it. She'll put it up from 3, Zoe Richards. Offline. And here come the Whai now through Hokianga. Around the back. Hidawani. Look at this pace. Amy West. The mismatch here on Bradley, who does well. Hokianga can't get it to go. It's a lolly scramble on the ground. And jump ball is the call. It's going to stay with the Whai.
And these Whai guards have a way of penetrating and getting to the hole, just a little hard on the layup there, but again, that hustle underneath the basket to come up with the jump ball.
There's Hidawani, it's a Cowling, there's that jumper. Not far away from Michaela Cowling as Zoe Richards tidies up. Elise Hurst, fresh off a 32-point game, gets it to the cup and adds 2.
She's dangerous on that baseline drive when you give her that space. You need to really see if you can cut her off to stop that wide open layup.
It's just cooled down just a touch after that explosive start. 21-15 with 2 to play in the first as Hidawani trying to get something going before the shot clock. Alyssa Hidawani does really well.
There she is, nice little drive there and a running layup to get the 2 points on the board.
Roberts here, great find, Sophie Adams. That's just bread and butter for the Hoiho.
A great find and a great finish. Coming around, spinning off the back foot as she caught that. That wasn't an easy shot to make.
6-point ball game in favour of the Hoiho. Hidawani from 3. Away to the right, Richards again tidying up on the rebound. That's her 3rd to go along with 9 points. Bradley threads the needle. Adams.
Wide open again. Nice pass, nice assist. That's the reason why Paige Bradley leading the league in assists with 8+ per game.
Well, she's already up to 4 in this first quarter. Sammy Gallagher has 3. 4 quick points for Sophie Adams in the Southern Hoiho as we take a look at the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. And Whai coach Mel Bennett wants a word with her troops.
Okay, so they've just got 2 scores off that. Next time we're going down, you're coming off, so we'll get, actually we've got Amy here and then we've got McKenna coming off, MC you're here, Hallie in the corner, Lila here. Okay, so we go down, Amy clear out, and then McKenna come back, okay? All right? Next time, if you've got Mitchell marking you, you have to go at her. Okay, everyone else just clear out. Okay, here we go.
A simple message there from Mel. Michaela Cowling gets the match up on young Tyler Mitchell. We take a look there at the messages coming out of the Hoiho. They'll be happy with that start. 25-17 they lead. Brooke was having a listen in. We'll see if we can go to Brooke now, listening into that Hoiho huddle.
Yeah, listening to that Hoiho huddle and love what I hear. They love the pace of it at the moment, and it's a complete different side at the moment. You always have to kind of think, what if? Obviously, Ashton Prechter was such a big part of it. She's so dominant inside, but the pace that they're playing at the moment, especially when you have Hurst and Bradley spreading the floor as they are at the moment. And then we know what the Whai can do. They like to push, so we're in for a heck of a game. You talked about it. The speed of this game has been incredible. Elise Hurst has actually been sitting here with an ice pack on her head. She's on fire at the moment, trying to cool down, so look out for that as well.
The Hoiho shooting at 55% from the field. A real collective effort too. Zoe Richards with 9, Paige Bradley with 7, Elise Hurst with 5, Sophie Adams with 4. Here is Cowling now. Bradley in front. Get it to Dale. Back to Cowling down low. What a pass that was. Back to Dale. Doesn't mind a 3. Can't get it to go, but Hokianga tidies up. Second chance opportunity here for the fight. Cowling, little short, again tidied up, wasn't far away from keeping that in. Amy West.
Great job on defense by Zoe Richards with the hard task of guarding Michaela.
Body's hitting the deck is Hurst again. With the pace. She's up to 7 points.
Scooping, driving right-hand layup.
It's a 10-point ball game, largest lead of the afternoon for the Hoiho. And then a breakdown there. Pass just a little wayward. Amy West perhaps unexpecting it there. And another opportunity, the shot clock will go off. 18.7 seconds to go in the first.
And that pass was on. The double team came and jumped as soon as the on-ball screen came out. So Michaela was looking the right way. Unfortunately, Amy West just a bit fast, that pass. But I think if they keep looking for that double team coming up, they'll get some easy baskets underneath.
And here's the double team, this time by the Whai. Ball movement with a Hoiho. Adams needs to get something up. Can't get it to go, and that'll do it for the first quarter. What a first quarter it's been. You can take a breath, Megan. 27 points to 17 in favour of the Southerners.
well as Elise Hurst, but probably the big telling stat, as you pointed out at the quarter time, was the Whai, who have been shooting the ball so well from behind the arc, are 1 for 9 so far.
Yeah, they'll have to pick it up there, the Whai, 1 from 9, just 11% from deep. Big part of their game, the great work there, McKenna Dale on the steal. And here come the Whai in transition, Dale. Alia Wilson just slows things down a touch. Cowling with it, Kirasomic. Dale eventually gets the shot up. Tidied up by the Hoiho, and we'll go to the Hoiho coach now, Todd Marshall. G'day, Todd. You must be really pleased with the start of the first quarter. A real signal of intent for you for this ball game, playing with that pace and energy.
Yeah, I'm happy, and I'd be disappointed if we didn't bring that. That's how we have to play, and that's how we got to keep on playing, so yeah.
And you see Zoe Richards having a great first quarter, and she looked like she was banking her presence known in the paint. Was that something you talked about in the first?
No, Zoe's, you know, different games, you've got to do different things, and Zoe's getting a bit of freedom to move, and she's making the most of it. And so that's just, yeah, Zoe's getting a bit of experience now. She's adjusting.
Oh, thank you, Coach.
Back with the play here is Caitlin O'Connell finds herself with an open lane.
Certainly did. The seas parted on that one, didn't she? But she wasn't an easy finish, so she made the work cut out for her. She finished it off and got away with the 2.
Well, she just snuck on the court. Perhaps the Whai didn't notice because she was wide open. And here come the Hoiho once more with Hurst and a 12-point lead. Look at that pace. Oh, everything but the finish. Dale finds Flavel. The 3-ball just failing to fall for the Whai. 1 from 12 now, but a second chance again. Flavel back to Dale. Dummies out to Cowling.
Oh,
she gets something to go. Look at these offensive rebounds though for the Whai. Oh, the lid is on the rim for the Whai right now.
Certainly is, and they won't be used to that, considering how well they have shot the ball all season, and you hope that that just starts to open up for them a little bit more as the game goes on.
There's Brittany Richards now, twin sister of Zoe. It's in the corner. Finds Roberts here instead with 5 on the shot clock. Gracie Roberts here behind the back. Richards going to have to put up a prayer. Not far away either, Zoe Richards.
And it's good defense by the Whai, turning back around after a couple of disappointing plays, but they're not going to stop shooting. And the offensive rebounds. McKenna Dale giving the Hoiho a taste of their own offensive rebounding medicine that they've done so well all season. 7
offensive rebounds now for the Whai as Richards adds to her tally. She's up to 11 points on the afternoon.
She certainly has. She's starting out the second quarter as well as she finished off the first.
Here's McKenna Dale to Cowling. Put the 3 shot away for now. His head down there, Michaela Cowling, and earns herself a trip to the TAB. Would be attempts 2 and 3 for the game for the Whai. No, TAB.
Looking at that as a statistic, this game has been at frenzied pace, and now I understand why, is because nobody is getting fouled and going to the line and stopping play so we can have a breath. It's only the second time that the Whai will find themselves at the line this game.
They shoot the least amount of free throws in the league, the Whai, which is a consequence of how many threes or 3-point attempts they put up as Cowling makes the first from the TAB. It's 3 points so far for Michaela Cowling, but she won't be quiet for long, that's for sure.
No, she certainly won't, averaging over 23 points a game. She's been one of the standouts of the league this year, and she's been an absolute pleasure to watch.
Here's Richards now, Cowling in front. Might have taken an extra step here, Zoe Richards, and she did. Well spotted there by the officials.
Just a little bit of a drag of the back foot, but great defense from Michaela Cowling on that play. And McKenna Dale at the other end, and she's starting to want to make some stuff happen. Again, that transition from the Whai, looking up, great look up.
That was like a quarterback there, Michaela Cowling.
Unlucky not to get it to drop, but just as we talked about, getting to the line might be the difference maker of this game.
10-point ball game now. Look to cut it to single digits, and McKenna Dale does just that. to 7 points. Her and Alia Wilson both with 7. No, Sarah Zagera so far for the Whai has been troubled throughout the week with an injury.
Which is a real loss for the Whai. I think that just sort of her experience, she's got that real strong European style, spreads the defense, and probably giving those shooters a bit of a wider look because she's such a threat on the baseline.
I feel like that's also partly why Zoe Richards is having such a field day too, down low with 11. Gonna have to get a shot up here, Zoe. And that's well offline. Good work by the Whai. That's a couple of shot clock explorations in this quarter now for the Hoiho.
Back to back, the Whai on the defensive pressure, turning themselves into having another offensive opportunity and a threat at the other end. And oh, that lid is still on the basket, cleaned up by McKenna Dale.
McKenna Dale's up to 8 points, 5 rebounds, 3 of those offensive. She's been crashing those boards. Oh, great find, Bradley, out of the double team. Gallagher tried to pass, ended up shooting. Here come the Whai now. It's got a little loud in here too, Megan.
Certainly doesn't want to turn around. The crowd is turned up, looking to support. I see some of the Queens are sitting in the stands watching this game, and I'm sure the Kahu aren't far behind.
Well, the Whai are on a bit of a run here to cut it to 6. Can they get it to within a bucket here? Michaela Cowley. There's that 3 again. This isn't dropping for the Whai, but the hustle is picking up.
They certainly are. The hustle on the offensive rebounds for the Whai have probably kept them in this game so far. They didn't come up with the rebound, but they've forced a turnover as it come off the Hoiho, and giving them another chance with 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Cowling can't get it into a Whai teammate. Well done, Elise Hurst. Triple substitution there by the Hoiho, including Hurst. And she fires away. 3 ball. Not dropping for either team, really, has to be said. But here come the Whai now at pace. Cowling, Dale. Can she hit a 3? No, it's just not the day of the Whai. That's 1 for 16 now.
Now that is a stat that they will not be used to. And down the other end, Elise Hurst keeping up where she left off last night.
Big time bucket from Elise Hurst. She's up to 10 points. Go along with Zoe Richards, 11. Kind of why the Hoiho lead by 9 is Hokianga picks up a foul. Sammy Gallagher not too happy with that call. We'll take a look at the replay.
A little bit of a little bit of a muscle up, a little bit of a hand on the ball, but you know, it's just 15 years old. Like, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take my opportunity. I'm playing in the big leagues now, and I'm going to go for it.
Speaking of the Queens, Kristlyn Carr there, getting ready to go. The grand final at 6. Will the Queens go back-to-back? Will the Carr who put their name on the trophy? Hokianga makes the second.
And we talked about the Queens Porirua game last night. Could have been anyone's at any point in that game. Both teams put up a fantastic fight. Queens came away with it, but not at the expense of a lot of minutes on the court for their starting 5. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they pull up. Fingers crossed Kristlyn Carr's calf is okay and she gets the run out.
Both teams playing their starters massive minutes last night, so it will be interesting to see 24 hours on.
A reversal, okay? And on the next one, we look to go into a stick play. So that's either yourself or it's you who's setting that screen and then slipping, okay? If you're down low on the weak side, just stay there and seal. Because if it's Elise or Paige coming off that, and that's a shot option for them, that puts you in a great rebounding position, okay? Cool, here we go.
Clear messages there from the Southern Hoiho. Brooke was listening in to the Whai huddle.
Yeah, listening to Mel Bennett right there. They're happy with where this game's at right now. The reason that they're happy is they're only down 8 and they cannot make a thing from deep. They're 1 to 16 right now, 6%, but they like the looks that they're getting. They think they're going to fall, and if one goes, it's going to be an avalanche, and then they'll see it come back.
Well, they certainly put them up, don't they? We've got 38 attempts a game, so they're not going to go to something that they don't know. That's their game.
That's right, and shooters shoot, you know, and if you don't make a few, you've got to keep shooting. That's your game. That lid is going to come off at some point.
Here are the Hoiho with it, with Paige Bradley. Bullet pass over to Elise Hurst. I reckon that was last touch by Hurst. A committee meeting here between two of the officials.
I think they're going to talk it over because both hesitated to put their hand down, and you're right, I think they got a fingertip to that.
Well, McKenna Dale touched it, then Hurst. There's a lot of referees out there all of a sudden. Eventually they get the right call. Great job by our coin officials.
Without even having to look at the replay from over here.
I was about to say, we have the IRS available, however, on...
It's a long way from over there to come over here. And the pace of this game can't sustain that, that break.
The fight rewarded McKenna Dale there. Her work defensively. There's Cowling now. Great footwork, Michaela Cowling. Is that the shot that gets her going?
You wonder, because you know that players like that, scorers like that are not going to stay quiet for long. They just need that little bit of confidence to get one going, and that could be the floodgates.
There's Bradley now, high arcing three. Bit long. Oh, Cowling just straight to Gallagher in an open lane.
Straight to Gallagher. She always seems to find herself in the right spot, Samara. It's awesome to see her back on the court this year after such a, she's got such a tailored history with Tall Ferns, and she's just been given the Hoiho such a lift this year.
Opens her scoring account to go along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. It's the Hoiho. This 8-point lead, the Whai hanging in there in the second quarter as Hurst fires away. Look good off the hand. Can't get it to go, and here come the Whai once more. They go back to Cowling. Alia Wilson, West. Eventually ends up with Dale. Back to Cowling now. There's that matchup that Todd Marshall identified with Tyler Mitchell, but Michaela Cowling just can't get the shot to fall. Here's Tyler Mitchell with it now for the Hoiho. So kick it back out. Bradley wants the screen, pick and roll action. Oh, it was on there, eventually gets to Jen O'Connell, and she puts it up and in.
And certainly does. That double team off the ball pick. The Hoiho are doing a really good job of finding that open cutting big to get in, with just the rotation on the other side, just missing out on that steal.
There's Cowling now, tough shot there. Can't get it to go. Here comes Bradley now with pace. Finds Gallagher in motion. Might have been a big time 3. Put them ahead by 13. Fight. Get an answer. There it is. McKenna Dale. It's taken a long time for that second 3. It finally drops.
Certainly did, and it was a nice looking one too. Good heads-up look by Michaela Cowling to find her teammate wide open on the in transition.
Ball movement here by the Hoiho. 1:50 to go in the half. Bradley settling for the long 3. Gallagher hits the deck. No call. McKenna Dale. Cowling. Kitasome. Again an offensive rebound. They're starting to rack up for the Whai as Kitasome fires away. No good on that one either.
It would have been a good one for them to nail down. I was just looking at the stat sheet there. The Whai doing a great job on limiting the Hoiho's offensive rebounding also.
There's that double team again on Bradley. Get it out of her hands. Force someone else to come up the play here. The Hoiho. It's Tyler Mitchell fires away. The Hoiho shooting at 3 from 14, the 21% from deep as Kitasome gets to work down low. The Whai on a bit of a run, and Hoiho coach Todd Marshall calls timeout.
Wow, that's a lovely little play. Found the ball in the post to a cutting Kitasome, and she finishes off for the layup underneath. Look at that lovely cut to the basket. Finishes off, and it brings it to 5 with 1 minute to go.
So 1 minute to go in this half. It was a 10-point ball game at quarter time. What have you noticed on the Hoiho side in terms of adjustments that's benefiting them?
Well, I think what the Whai have done really well to get their offensive going. We know the ball's not dropping for them, but it's not going to be that they're not going to shoot well for the rest of the game. You go in fits and runs, but what they're doing is they're getting their defense to turn themselves into getting that offensive pressure, doing a really good job putting pressure on the Hoiho on offense, getting a couple of shot clock violations, and then getting some good transition baskets.
Great to see the Queens fans warming into their work ahead of the grand final, 6 o'clock. Say it right here on Sky Open between the Queens and the Kahu. We've got a third place to decide before then between the Hoiho and the Whai.
And certainly neither one of these teams look like they're coming out here playing in a third, fourth game. They've come out here with fire, with passion, with a desire to win, and they're leaving it all on the court. This first half has been, if nothing, frenzy.
Here's Bradley with it now. There's that double team once more, putting pressure on her. Clear strategy by the Fires. Richards from the elbow makes it.
Nice looking jump shot mid-elbow from Zoe Richards, just showing that she's got that range as well as her back to the basket moves.
She's up to 13 points, 6 from 10 from the field. Pulled off a touch here in the second quarter after 9 in the first as Cowling finds Wilson. She tries to get around Zoe Richards. Jenna Connell with the help. A whistle and a foul and a trip to the TAB for Alia Wilson.
So Alia's been quite quiet in the second quarter after having a good scoring performance in the first quarter. Getting to the line, that usually does help a shooter and a scorer get there, find their rhythm. Good to see them back on the TAB.
Well, she had all of her points in the first, hasn't added to it in the second, and won't add to it there. 5 from 8 from the TAB stripe are the Whai. Trail by 7. Makes the second, Alia Wilson. And a player timeout, Sky City player timeout called with 26 seconds remaining. If you're a player out there at the moment, Megan, what's the play?
What's the play? Well, you've got a full 26 seconds on the shot. You've got 24 seconds on the shot clock to have a look at it. So you're up by 6. Whether you run the clock and get a good look at the end. So run a play, get the ball in, you've got the ball down your half, you don't need to rush it. So just make sure that you don't leave enough time on the clock for the Whai to go down the other end of the court and potentially get a score. You do not want to cut that lead to 4 going into the half. But I've been out of the game a very long time, so it could be a quick 2.
And it is just 14 seconds on the shot clock as well, so can't wind it down all the way. As Bradley now, the pressure of Wilson. Gallagher, her step back 3. Rebound there by Wilson. She cops it. Hand to the eye. And concerned Paige Bradley, certainly no malice in it. So take a look at the replay. Oh yeah, just a left finger there by Bradley, and you could see immediately.
Pulled the hand back as well, just to make sure she knew it was completely unintentional. Like a little finger in the corner of the eye, though. There's nothing worse.
Alia Wilson is eventually going to trudge up to the TAB stripe here, I think.
Wipe the eyes,
on the bonus.
wipe the tears, and I don't mean the tears from crying, but the tears from having a finger put in your eye, and see whether you can see the basket and get to the stripe. But just as we said, this is an interesting telling stat there with the Hoiho on 5 team fouls, the Whai on none.
Yeah, the foul count overall 7-1 on the Hoiho. So Wilson makes the first.
Good to see that her eyesight didn't impact that shot.
Doesn't make the second, but gets the long rebound, Alia Wilson, and then they call a Sky City player timeout with 10 seconds to go. Great awareness and great hustle, Alia Wilson.
Wow, great awareness, great hustle. We could see this be a big swing. So 1 point down there, she didn't make the second, but they've got the ball back. Could then end up running a play, getting a 2 or a 3, and having a big swing going into that second half.
Well, it felt like it wasn't too long ago that the Hoiho had a double-digit lead. Now could be within a bucket with a shot here. 10 seconds, plenty of time to get to the shot they want here, the Whai, with Cowling, Wilson, Dale, Flavel, and West on the floor. Cowling with the inbound. Go to Alia Wilson. Checks it out of touch. Communication breakdown though. She clearly wanted a screen. Dale with it now between the legs. Spin move. Loses the handle. Fade away. Oh, stop it! Okay.
Just as they drafted it.
There is absolutely no way that is what they drew up in the Sky City. Player timeout, but it matters little. She's beaten the clock, as you see there on the replay. How about it, McKenna Dale?
Wow, what a way to finish the second half. The Whai on a run, and still without necessarily shooting the ball that well, particularly from the behind the arc. They've only found themselves down by, I think we're going to see that score adjust to 37-40. There it is. And they'll be pretty pleased going into the second half after a hard fight back in.
Certainly will. They were down 10 at the quarter break, cut it to 3 at halftime as we send it to Brooke Rusko, who's got McKenna Dale.
Yeah, here with McKenna Dale, that's one way to close out the half.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly the play we drew up, but I guess it worked.
What's been going on with you guys? It feels like you're getting the looks that you want. They're just not falling right now.
We're definitely getting the looks that we wanted. We're just going to keep pushing it, keep playing our game, and we'll definitely have them start to fall in the second half.
Well, we love it. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
As Zoe Richards makes her way in here as well. Zoe, for us, great to watch the pace of it. For you, how are you feeling right now? How are the lungs?
Yeah, it's pretty tired out there. You know, it's a really fast-paced game, and so we need to execute a bit better on defense. Running back in transition is kind of leading us down at the moment.
You guys go into this with a 5-point lead. If we're nitpicking at the moment, they're kind of getting you with your own medicine and beating you on the own boards.
Yeah, for sure. We know that's like something we really need to focus on, so that'll be something we'll be talking about in the huddle right now.
Well, I love the pace of it. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brooke. I'm going to actually check this final shot here. The IRS in play. And the thumb is up. And the shot will count. 2 points will officially be added to the score. And there you have it.
Cool. After review, we've confirmed that number 44 has successfully made the two-pointer.
Counts. What a finish to the first half. Just to confirm, the Hoiho leading 40-37.
Whoever sort of wins that. I'm a little surprised she's not even more.
Welcome back to halftime. The fight for bronze is as close as you can get it right now as the Whai are down 3 to the Southern Hoiho. And Case, we've been watching this game as closely as it gets, and maybe it's a little bit of the legs at the moment, but the shots are there, they're just not falling.
They're good looks, but they've combined 5 for 37 in the first half. Let's do the math, 13% or so. So not the shooting we expect from two teams who've been shooting the ball well. The play is excellent. Like the intensity, the fight is there, the pace is unbelievable. But I think maybe fatigue setting in just a bit for teams that, in one case, had to play less than 24 hours ago.
Well, as a spectator, we love to watch it. We just spoke to Zoe before she went into halftime break, and she has played extremely well. 13 points, doing the damage inside and out. But a big first half from Zoe.
Yeah, 4 rebounds. I'd expect her to get a little more involved in that. 13 points is great for her. Remember, the first game that Ashton Prechtel missed was Zoe Richards' biggest game of the year. She dropped 32 on the Whai without Ashton Prechtel. I love the way they're moving the basketball. I love the cuts to get themselves open and avoid the defenders. Good effort by them, and that hot start really got them that big lead. The Whai fighting back though.
Well, she's saying she's underperforming right now with a 13.5. I tell you who's not, is McKenna Dale. She closed that half out. They needed something to go into the half a little bit closer, and she nailed it, 15 points.
Well, they need something to start going right. They've been having some good looks, but also just not hitting as many. She's always active in transition. I love the way she runs the floor, and that great looks for her teammates have led to offensive rebounding opportunities. The Whai right now, surprisingly, winning the rebound battle. It's all about transition for McKenna Dale, though. The way she's moving out there and the activity on the glass, and of course that stellar shot to finish things. The 3 in transition, not as hot from transition as she can get. She keeps getting those looks. She's going to certainly make a few more of them.
Well, one thing I love is she's gone from strength to strength as the year goes on. It looked like she's going to close it out the exact same way. And speaking to Zoe just before the half, a bit of their own medicine. They've been killing everyone on the O boards. The Whai doing it tonight.
Whai are doing it very well, and that's led to that free throw availability. During the regular season, the Whai, the worst in the league at getting to the stripe, but 7 for 11 in the first half, excellent, and keeping the Hoiho to just 2 attempts. We know that's not what the Hoiho want to do without Prechtel. They're shooting the basketball. So in terms of that, it's working in the Whai favor to come back strong in the second half and sneak this victory.
Well, we love it. We love the pace of it. We will be back with the second half. Who is going to take out third place in Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa 2023? We will know in the next 25 minutes.
I'll do it, mate. No problem.
Welcome back to Te Rauparaha Arena in Porirua, where the Southern Hoiho lead the Whai 40-37 at halftime in the playoff for third. First of two games here, of course, this evening. 6 o'clock, the big dance. Will it be the Tokomanua Queens to go back-to-back, or will the Kahu spoil the local party? Looking forward to that one live on Sky Open. But our focus, Megan, is on the second half. I know you've been deep in the box score during the break. What was it that immediately jumped out? Obviously, the three-point shooting hasn't been as impressive as we perhaps would have anticipated, but still, the Whai getting those looks.
Yeah, well, it's been talked about the Whai not really firing from behind the arc, but Hoiho haven't also been firing, not like they were last night. They're only shooting 17% from behind the arc as well. I think the telling stat is the Whai have been able to get back into this game by getting to the foul line, and that's coming off those second chance points under the paint, giving the Hoiho a bit of a taste of their own medicine on the offensive boards.
Yeah, 7 from 11 from free throw, the TAV, compared to the Hoiho, just the 2 attempts, 1 from 2. The foul count too, interesting, and obviously a result of that increased effort at the TAB. 7 fouls on the Hoiho to just the 1 on the Whai.
That's right, and I'd like to see what Paige Bradley comes out and does in the second half here. She's so dangerous with the ball in hand. She can score, she can pass. We know that she's only got 7 on the point now. They're double teaming her off the dribble, but they are doing a really good job of finding that big cutting to the basket and getting that layup. So I think that's how the Hoiho are going to get back into this game.
Well, let's find out as the Hoiho and Whai make their way back onto the floor. It'll be the Whai with first possession. There is Alia Wilson with it. She started to get going, particularly in that first quarter. 7 first quarter points on 9 as Dale fires away a quick 3. That's the Whai blueprint.
Certainly is, and why not? Why wouldn't you come out firing when you finish the first half like you did?
Kenna Dale impressed again in that first half as Hurst can't hit there from 3. Dale with 15 points, leading all scorers. 6 from 11 from the floor. Get it back to her now. Dale, a highlight moment to end the first half. It's Alia Wilson now. Oh, great help defense there by the Hoiho. Zoe Richards hits the deck and a jump ball is called, and the Hoiho are going to be rewarded for their hustle.
Certainly are. They'll get the ball back on the jump ball call, but what a great defensive play there by the Hoiho, just keeping the team in front of them. Great help defense by Elise Hurst there, and Zoe all over the floor to win the ball back.
So the Hoiho now back with it. No change to the halftime score just yet. It's Tyler Mitchell brings it up the floor. 16 points, a career high for Tyler Mitchell just yesterday against the Tokomanua Queens in the semi-finals. There's that double team again. This time it's on Hurst and she hits the deck. Oh, great work down low. I think that was Amy West on Zoe Richards. Here come the Whai now, and West with it.
Certainly was. Amy West with her hand on the ball, stripped Zoe Richards length to length, coast to coast, and got the layup at the other end. The Whai, the first one's on the board in the second half.
And the Hoiho troubled by this double team approach. And this time Mitchell leaves it short. The Whai have found their mojo.
Good rotation defense there by McKenna Dow to come up with it.
Cowling with it now. Left a little quiet in that first half by her standards. Just 6 points, 2 of 9. So we go now to Bradley, and the Hoiho coming back with it. Hurst, there's that double team. Good recognition though to find Gallagher in the corner. Big time 3.
Knocked it down. Great look by Paige Bradley. She knew double team is coming. You know someone's got to be open. Good work from Samara Gallagher to knock it down. Good rotation defense. Elise Hurst giving the Whai a little bit of taste of their own medicine.
Now Gallagher, oh, what a pass. Tyler Mitchell with the easy 2.
She looks like she's having a great time out there, Samara, this season. I love watching her come alive. She does the little things so well, and what a great pass there. Get them on the board.
Up to 4 assists now, Samara Gallagher. As the Hoiho push out to a 6-point lead. And the Whai find an answer here. No, they can't. Here come the Hoiho. Bradley pushing the pace. Gets around Wilson and gets it up and in.
Certainly does. No stopping Paige Bradley when she puts her head down. And the Hoiho again showing that pace that they can really bring it.
Well, this third quarter very much starting like the first. Both teams playing at breakneck speed, firing away. It's the Whai once more from 3.
Just in and out. It's so close.
Gallagher now in the corner. It's the top of the backboard. Great work by Elise Hurst to haul it in. Bradley, it's the step on Flavel and finishes with the left. And Mel Bennett has seen enough. She wants a word.
Well, the Whai started out really strong in the first half, getting a couple of good stops and good looks at the basket, but the Hoiho definitely turned the pace on these last couple of minutes, and the run is going their way.
Well, the Whai have just added 2 points to their halftime score. So 3 minutes and 20 seconds. This has been some run by the Hoiho, 9-2 in this third quarter. And just feels to me, Megan, just better identification of that double team coming up by the Whai as we listen into Mel Bennett.
You don't think we should be in red? Let's try green. Let's try green this time. Green and white, okay? White for her. Yeah, okay? All right, so this is all we need to do. Change the coverage and pick the pace up. That's it, okay? Try and get the shooters to be you, and you, okay, on the perimeter, all right? Okay, here we go. 5.
Well, there you go, Megan. Changing coverage is the call.
Changing colour. What do you think that means? Now, whether that is they start to look at that penetration. Paige Bradley, 2 in a row coming down. So it would be interesting to see what they have coming up.
We go to Brooke now, who's listening in to the Hoiho huddle.
Yeah, listening to that Hoiho timeout. No brain explosions coming up from this team as well. They're smart at the end of the season, but just keep picking up the fire a little bit early. They know they like to run. They know they can turn it on really quickly. One player in particular, that lady with the ball right there, can fill it up as extremely quickly as anybody in the league. They have to know where she is at all times, but they love the pace that the Hoiho are playing at the moment. Collapsing the defense, finding the backdoor cuts, and they just need to continue this to start the third.
Oh, how about that? Michaela Cowling.
I think
You called it, Brooke.
Brooke was just basically commentating that play, and it came to life, but talking all about Michaela Cowling and that play, and she certainly did come alive.
There's Mitchell now with his high arcing shot. Wasn't far away. It's Cowling, though, tidies up. Determined as ever, Michaela Cowling. Oh, wasn't far away. Great work, Zoe Richards.
Good running from both Zoe and Amy West. Getting down the lane. Good look, but just a little higher. She probably could have gotten up and used her length to grab that one.
Swats it away with the left. 19 seconds on the shot clock. And in fact, we're now going to have another review. No, we're not. Looks like they're happy with the clock situation. And that's good to see. So we're back underway with Kirasome with it. And the Whai down by 7. Cowling in motion. Oh, here we go.
There it is. There she is.
We've been waiting. Is this the offensive explosion coming here in the third quarter from Michaela Cowling? She's up to 12 points. Cuts the Hoiho lead to 4.
Well, the best thing about Michaela is you know that she can turn back around and get her defensive working, as she did just there.
There's a foul eventually called. It's a push on the Hoiho contesting that rebound, so it'll go with the Whai. Take a look at the replay. There is the defensive player of the year, Michaela Cowling, doing it both ends. It was on Zoe Richards, I think, in the end.
They get the ball in the hot player's hands.
There she is once more, Michaela Cowling. It's it to Dow. Ends up back with it. Michaela Cowling, oh, not far away. And this time a whistle going the way of the Hoiho contesting the rebound.
I'd love to see it. Both teams crashing the boards, not leaving anything out there. Now they're getting pinged for a couple of fouls there, but you can't fault the passion for both of them going after it. Someone didn't tell these two teams this is a dead rubber game.
Interesting to see The Hoiho coach Todd Marshall go to size here with Jen O'Connell into the ball game to combat Amy West. And another whistle. Basket won't count there. And it will stay with the Hoiho.
A little bit of
Foul is on McKenna Dale. That's just her first.
so a big post-up move by Zoe Richards. She's looking for the ball, trying to finish off start where she started so strongly in the first half with it back to the basket.
Richards with it now. Oh, great work, Amy West. Passes it away. But there is going to be a late whistle and a foul call on West. Take a look at the replay here.
Great hands by a 6-foot-plus centre to get that low, not commit a foul, get her hands on the ball, knock it free. That's 2 possessions in a row. She's created turnovers for the Whai.
And it's the Whai who can cut it to within a basket here. Down 4, midpoint of the third quarter. Oh, Wilson, lovely find. Michaela Cowling.
Wow,
7 points in the third quarter now, Michaela
lovely
Cowling.
Little dip there from Michaela Cowling. Come out to the wing and cut back. Got rid of 2 defenders for that little pull-up jump shot.
Yeah, can the Hoiho find a response? Hurst to Gallagher. Gets her way through. There's a whistle and a foul. And a trip to the TAB for Samara Gallagher.
And can you believe halfway through the third quarter, that's the 2nd trip to the foul line for the Hoiho?
No, I can't believe it.
Nice open-ended question there.
Yeah, 11 free throw attempts for the Whai. And just the 2 for the Hoiho. Both were from Zoe Richards as Samara Gallagher makes the first. Pushes it back out to a 3-point ball game.
And so often you see games that come down to the free throw, the points that you can get from the stripe. And this might be quite telling as we come to the end of this game.
That was Alia Wilson's 10th rebound there. Wayward on the shot. But it's going to stay with the Whai. Again, the hustle, the crashing the boards, rewarded. What about Alia Wilson, though? 11 rebounds, excuse me, 4 of them on the offensive end. Does not give up on the play. Cowling finds Flavel. Pressure there by the Hoiho. Gallagher's all over her. There's 5 seconds left on the shot clock here for Dale. Spin move, left. Oh! McKenna Dale goes deep in the bag.
Absolute dagger for the Hoiho, because that was a great defensive effort, putting the pressure on Samara Gallagher, almost creating a 5-second turnover there, and somehow McKenna Dale with the fall.
There's Gallagher now from 18 feet, just a little short. And the Whai, for the first time in a long time, have an opportunity to take the lead here. Flavel, lovely pass. Oh, eventually hauls it in. Kitasomic, great work. O'Connell, oh, over the head. Goodness gracious me.
Frenzy continues. A defensive effort by the Hoiho. This time they were fortunate enough to come up with it. What a great effort.
A couple of circus plays back-to-back down this end of the court. Hurst with it now. Just a tick over 3 to go in the third. Hurst from the car park. Pulled in by Richards, didn't touch the rim. There's going to be confusion and a delay of game here. I think the shot clock reset when it shouldn't have. Didn't touch the rim, and that is the call. I'm getting to my left on the scorer's bench. It's going to return to 3 seconds on the shot clock.
The ball for the Southerners. And Elise Hurst been held quiet in this second half by some really pressure by defense, and maybe that was the color change that that Coach Mel Bennett was talking about, putting a lot more pressure.
Bradley, though, wide open. They don't make them pay. The Whai get the long rebound eventually through Dale. Can they take the lead here through McKenna Dale? Oh, so close.
So close, in and out for McKenna Dale, but what a good look for the looking three. Just couldn't get it to fall.
4 for 26 now, the 5 from 3. Liking the looks, it just isn't falling. They'll keep with it though as Richards now hits the front iron. It's just dried up a touch here offensively. It's got a little tight, isn't it, Megan? 1-point ball game as Dale.
Why not?
This time.
Why not? Well, the lid's got to lift at some point, and there she goes, McKenna Dale. What she started to do so well at the end of the season, find her range from behind the arc, and 52-50, the 5 find themselves in front of this game.
Well, she had 26 yesterday in the semi-final defeat to the Kahu. She's got 20 now, 8 of 14 from the field. And the momentum is completely with the fight. But that's great work there. Jen O'Connell putting her body on the line. And the foul is against the fine McKenna Dale.
Oh, good read there. She knew that McKenna Dale was going to put her head down and try to go round using her size advantage, but she got her feet positioned. Good opportunity to create a stoppage in the play and stop the Whai run. And particularly for that player right there who's got the hot hand.
She's earned herself a reprieve via the bench. Jen O'Connell, collect her breath. Sophie Adams into the ball game for the Hoiho. Bradley tries to get it to Zoe Richards, but the defensive work, again by the 5, pays dividends. This time, Paige Bradley responds with an immediate steal, and then look at this pace.
Wow.
Oh, but McKenna Dale says no.
Says no, gets the ball back up the court if she hits this 3.
Bodies hitting the deck. There's a lot to unpack here at the Rauparaha Arena in Porirua as Kitasome drops the 3.
And where do you start? What a run by the Whai, and the crowd are absolutely loving it. A great group of Whai supporters sitting right behind their bench who are absolutely loving this.
And here it is again, McKenna Dale all the way. Oh my goodness. Everything but the shot. She cannot believe it. She's got 20 points on the afternoon and misses the gimme layup.
It's just the way it goes sometimes for particularly players like that who are going to hit the shots that they hit, get wide open, and then just, a little strong off the backboard. It could have so easily rolled back in. And I think the Hoiho know that they got away with a lucky one there.
And a 5th team foul as well. So a real break here for the Hoiho. There's a foul on that rebound eventually. Roberts here leaves the first attempt from the TAB short. The Hoiho just 10 points in this 3rd quarter. As Roberts here makes the 2nd. And Tyler Mitchell enters the ball game. Zoe Richards will have a break and talk things over by the bench.
Zoe's been held scoreless this quarter. So what the Whai have been talking about at the halftime break in the locker rooms is obviously let's get a body on Zoe and let's not let her go to work underneath the basket.
Yeah, Elise Hurst and Zoe Richards scoreless in this 3rd quarter. The 2 key contributors as Michaela Cowling fires away. It's tidied up by Hurst, but then dribbles it off the foot of her blown teammate. Bodies again hitting the deck, and it's going to go the way of the Whai.
Tell you what, there is nothing being left out here on the floor. Tidied up, unfortunately, bounced it off. I think it was off the 5 foot, but the players are just there, ready to dive on it.
Delay here as we tidy up the court. Been kept busy, haven't they? The young ladies here with the towels.
Are they called the Moppets as well? Have I heard the name for them in the Sal's NBL is the Moppets? So
the Moppets, okay.
Moppets, yeah. Have we taken that over into Tauihi? If we haven't, we should. It's the perfect name. Oh. Wow.
Smooth there from Cowling. She's had a huge say in this 3rd quarter.
Not much you can do when she gets that lift on the jump shot like that. She's got so much size and reach and length, and it's a lovely shot. hits for her.
3-second differential between game and shot clock as Elise Hurst tries to create something for herself. And that's last touch by Paige Bradley. Elise Hurst hasn't been able to get it going in this third quarter.
No, it must be something down this end of the court, because the Hoiho struggled. So as the Whai struggled as well in the first half, and the Hoiho have done not fared much better in this third quarter.
Here comes Cowling. This will be it for the third quarter. Kirasome. Can they do it again? No. Kenna Dale hits the deck. That'll do it for the third quarter, and what a third quarter it was by the Whai. They trailed by 3 at the halftime break. They now lead by 6 with a quarter to play. Welcome back to Rauparaha Arena in Porirua, where the Whai have clawed their way back into this contest for third position in GJ Ganahome's Tauihi Aotearoa. They lead the Hoiho 57-51. Megan, that third quarter, just looking at the box score there, no points for Elise Hurst, no points for Zoe Richards. Some huge defensive adjustments that have paid dividends immediately for the Whai.
Oh, they certainly have. The defensive adjustments, and we always talk about offense leading, coming from your defense. The Whai turning around and starting to see some of those shots falling that would normally fall, they didn't get a bar of in the first half. We talk about, actually, I'm looking at the stats, there's not much in it. You know, the only thing that is really glaringly obvious, is real big difference, is the points from the free throw line. That could be the difference in this game.
Well, let's go to the Whai coach, Mel Bennett, who's standing by. Thanks for your time here, Mel. What did you like a lot about that third quarter? Some really good adjustments there, defensively in particular.
Yeah, I think we went to our green, which is switching everything but staying home on Elise Hurst. So just trying to keep up with her, because she's got potential to pop off. Our shooting obviously flows from our defensive ability, so we want to keep pushing the pace. There's a hand in that.
And Zoe Richards had a good first half. You kept her scoreless in the second half as well. Was she a focus at halftime, Chats?
Yeah, she was a focus at halftime, and the other two guards that could be prepared to go off. What we just talked about as well is for them to come out with a bit of defensive pressure, because, you know, there's a clean slate. We've got nothing to lose. We're playing for the medal on the line now.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Love to see the intensity in this game. And these two teams want to finish with a medal around their neck. There's Dale now. Can't get it to go, but what about the effort from Michaela Cowling? He now finds herself open from 3. Another row board. Gets it up and in, McKenna Dale. And a 3-point opportunity here for the Whai.
And that came from the hustle from Michaela Cowling there. Missed shot to tip out to the wing. Missed a 3 that would have been poetic. But another second chance offensive rebound by McKenna Dale to get herself to the line for a potential 3-point play.
Nails it to McKenna Dale, up to 23 points. It's incredible, this rebounding performance by the Whai, considering the stats. It's completely against what we were anticipating. 17-8, they're winning the battle on the offensive rebounds. 46-35 overall as Bradley fires away. Cowling hauls it in. Dale with it. Wilson between the legs, back to Cowling. Gets the step on Zoe Richards, and what a finish with the left, and doesn't she like it? In front of the Tokomanawa Queens.
Wasn't that a big smile from Michaela Cowling to the Queens are just laughing. But what you just love to see a player like that catch fire, and as you say that she had such a tough first half.
Oh, almost there, right idea, just didn't get the execution quite right, the fight. As subs come in for the Hoiho, they go back to Size and Jen O'Connell. There are the Queens having a good laugh.
Tegan Graham, the class clown, as I've seen a little bit of her this year. She's been awesome for the Queens, but having a good giggle with the teammates. Looking pretty relaxed ahead of the big grand final coming up very shortly.
Yes, 6 o'clock. The Queens and the Kahu cannot wait for the grand final. We've got third position to decide first. Gallagher. She inspires something. What about this defensive work? And it doesn't even touch the rim. The Whai are locked in.
They certainly are, and Coach Mel Bennett, now she's explained the colour change is obviously the defensive effort, switching up everything except for on-ball, I think, if I remember her correctly saying. And it's obviously, as she said, the defense turning into offensive opportunities.
Here is an offensive opportunity here for the Whai. Wilson, oh, great hands by Hurst, but Dale does well. Cowling now, it's off to the right. Hoiho managed to haul it in through Bradley.
And they'll need to have a couple of more really good defensive stops like that, forcing the Whai into a bad look.
There's a lot of time here still. They don't need to rush things. Took over 7 to go, down 9. Find their shots. Richards, big time bucket.
Good work by Zoe Richards under pressure from the top of the key. That being out here an hour before the game, taking her shots, obviously paying off in that big bucket.
Well, that was her first basket of the second half. Zoe Richards, she started so well in the first. She's now got 16 points, 7 of 12 from the field. Putting the Hoiho on her back here.
That's something we talk about, Zoe Richards being the most valuable, most improved player of the 2023 Tauihi season. Something that I've seen from this year to last year is that improvement in range of her shot, making her really dangerous because she obviously can play a really solid back to the basket game.
And now in transition through Richards. That's where they go again. She gets the step on. Dale, great pressure there by Michaela Cowling. And Dale finds a running Amy West. Oh, what a finish.
Love Amy West running the court. She goes coast to coast down the middle, and a great finish. That was not an easy ball to collect, and finished off for the 2. Great effort by the big centre.
Yeah, real trust in Amy West's work this afternoon. She's played 20 minutes for the Whai with no Sarah Zagera. 4 points. Helping the Whai cause here, who lead by 8. Gallagher in the corner. So close, needed that one to fall, the Hoiho. As Cowling brings it down. Gets it back from Dale. And a loose handle there. And it'll go back the way of the Hoiho.
A good defensive effort by the Hoiho again, putting a bit of pressure on the ball handler. I think Michaela saw Zoe on her, thought it might be a bit of a mismatch, so wanted to turn and go. Use that speed and quickness to get to the hoop, but just lost a bit of the handles.
So what can Paige Bradley deliver here? 11 points on the afternoon to go along with 8 rebounds and 6 assists. I think it'll go through her as there's a foul called on Tangiroa Flavel. Stay with the fight. trail by 8.
You see how quickly this team can put points on the board. 8 points is not a margin that I would feel comfortable with if I was the Whai.
Bradley gets the switch. Great work though for Cowling, staying in front. Hurst. Oh, what about the defensive work by the defensive player of the year? You'd expect nothing less. As Kirasome fires away quick, gets it back. Is that offensive rebounding again? And we're going to reset the clock here.
A good little pull-up jump shot. Unlucky to not get that to fall, but again, the Whai doing what they've been doing all game, creating those second chance opportunities, crashing the boards, and now they've got another look. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Flavel with it. Oh, big contact. And Zoe Richards is back up on her feet. The foul's going to go on Flavel. Let's have a look at it here on the replay.
Ooh.
Oh,
Just a little, moving a little too much into the defense to come on that ball. She wasn't stationary, which is the reason why she got called with that offensive foul.
and get away with that on a rugby league field, let alone basketball.
Bit of a drop of the shoulder, you reckon?
Sunny Bills Day, maybe.
And the Moppets back on the court.
Been busy. We'll be busy later too with the grand final between the Kahu and the Queens at 6 o'clock. Right here on Sky Sport at the Rauparaha Arena in Porirua. Host of the Final Four. Who will finish third? That's what we're waiting to find out here. Elise Hurst just can't get anything to go in the second half. Cowling though, she has been on fire.
She has been on fire. She certainly wanted to have a look at that one, but Elise Hurst, everything that was falling last night from exactly the same spots, just not going her way tonight. I do wonder whether there's a little bit of fatigue that is and could be creeping in with some of those players that played big minutes last night, not even 24 hours ago.
Certainly got to be a contributing factor, you would have thought, as Bradley finds Gallagher in the left corner. Almost rolls in. Great work though, Jen O'Connell. Hoiho will get a second opportunity. Bradley to Gallagher. She fires it over her head, hits the advertising wardens. But it's the Whai back with it. Cowling almost gets that shot to go. Absorbs the contact and will head to the TAB.
Yeah, nice heads-up play there by the Whai, creating the turnover. Michaela Cowling up the court, recognised the mismatch, drew the foul to get to the TAB stripe.
8 from 12 from the TAB stripe. The fight certainly got tight in this fourth quarter. The Whai leading by 8, make that 9. And the Hoiho held to just 5 points in this fourth quarter.
And it's going to be a difficult stat for the Hoiho to look at when they finally do come to look at this box score.
And the Hoiho call timeout, down 10, with 4:39 to play. They started so strong, as we see the huddle there of the coaches first. Take a listen in. See what the message will be from Hoiho coach Todd Marshall.
Cross action, okay. Doesn't matter, run it. You can even run it for Sammy, it doesn't really matter. Just turn nice and deep, let's get that screen action, come off, and then we go straight into our flow. It doesn't stop after we do that action, okay? Well, I'm tempted to have a look at a zone, but I think a man-to-man is how we're going to get ourselves back in this game. So come on, let's go, right? So we've got a cross. Okay, and then we end up into flow. Okay, here we go.
Straight insides there.
Inside, Zoe.
And the Hoiho huddle. Meanwhile,
Jen,
Brooke Rusco's been listening in down the other end of the fight.
Yeah, locked into the Whai at the moment, and they're happy with where they are. Obviously, 10-point lead. They've turned it around in the second half, but it's a bronze medal match. They got nothing to lose, this Hoiho team, and we saw what Hurst can do. You have to know where she is at all times. When you have that green light, you can throw the kitchen sink at it. You have nothing to lose. They have to know where Hurst and Bradley are and close out this game.
Certainly threads across the court, the Hoiho. So close to booking their spot in the grand final, beating that team here, the Toko Manawa Queens.
Sitting next to the Manawatu Jets coach, Natu. Sitting there watching the game very intensely. It's been great to see the support of the Sal's NBL men's teams for the women's competition this year.
There is Hurst. He called it again, Brooke.
I think Brooke might have a little bit of a, is he on like a, are we on a delay or something? And he's got a little bit of one of those future views of the game, because he's called the last couple of times out of timeouts, called the plays.
Well, it's been a long time between drinks for Elise Hurst, but she completes the three-point play, much needed for the Hoiho. Cut the lead to 7. Can they get a stop here? Wilson. Hurst trying to stay in front, getting the switch. Cowling. Oh, that is clutch from Michaela Cowling. And a whistle and a foul and a trip to the TAB to try and complete the three-point play.
What a lovely look there by Alea. Just found her cutting import international teammate. And Michaela Cowling had so much air there. She hit the shot and almost got hit at the end when she was still in the air. Not even with the ball in her hand. Converts the three-point play, giving the Whai a comfortable 10-point lead going into the last 4 minutes.
What a second half it's been. 17 of her 23 points in the second half for Michaela Cowling. All-Star 5 member, Defensive Player of the Year. Where do the Hoiho go? They find Bradley. Can't get it to go, but O'Connell hauls in the rebound. And then Amy West has hit the deck. She's taken an elbow to the ribs.
Yeah, she got elbow straight in the ribs there. I think she got obviously a bit winded, taking her time to get up off the floor. Let's hope it's nothing more than that. But here's the Defensive Player of the Year, Michaela Cowling. Don't go to work on Paige Bradley.
Well, there it is from Jen O'Connell. And that is an offensive foul. Not what the Whai needed. Down 10 with 3:42 to play.
Puts the team in the bonus as well, so every time the Hoiho foul from here on out, they will be putting the Whai on the TAB strike.
Full court pressure here by the Hoiho. Starting to get tight. We have another whistle and an issue with the clock. So we'll have to take a redo here. Just need someone to actually pass the ball back into the court. Michaela Cowling will eventually oblige. Here we go. Wilson. Slowing the pace, the Whai, they know now time is on their side, up 10. 3:30 of a play, fires it over. Kirasomi in the right corner, then ends up back with it. 3 on the shot clock, Alia Wilson got to shoot. Kirasomi, will she beat the buzzer? She will, but can't get the shot to go. Here come the Hoiho. Bradley, head down. Oh, no look pass. Gallagher in the corner,
yes.
Big time 3.
Wow, she needed one of those to go, and that's the one. Wide open, great pass out of the penetrating drive from Paige Bradley to find her teammate.
Where do the Whai go for a response? Of course, Michaela Cowling, 20 feet. Oh, so smooth.
Do you know, you always wish that you look like that. Or if you're shooting the ball, casual as elevation, smooth as silk.
She's up to 25 points now, Michaela Cowling. As Gallagher tries to will the Hoiho back into this contest. Bradley can't connect on the 3. They're out on their feet, the Hoiho. I feel like Wilson recognises it, but then just passes it away to Elise Hurst. Got to go here, the Hoiho. Here comes Hurst. Richards hauls it in. dribbles it out to the three. That one's long. Wilson somehow pulls it in and then gets it to McKenna Dale.
Well, that was almost an intercept at halfway here with Aaliyah Wilson, but she managed to collect it for running McKenna Dale down the floor for another two.
Here's Hurst now. Adds two more. They're going to need more than that with 1:42 to go, down 9.
Find her little jump shot, but it might be a little too late, but you never know with the teams that can light it up like these guys can.
Here's Wilson now. Tries to get around Gallagher. Oh, there's a whistle and a foul. Was it in the act of shooting? We're about to find out. It is. Trip to the TAB awaits for Aaliyah Wilson, who's just quietly gone about her work, hasn't she, Megan? 9 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals.
I think it's the rebounding for me. It's she's such a big, strong point guard that just gets her way into the paint, working away at the defensive end, not giving up those second chance points that the Hoiho have relied on so heavily this year to get those chances underneath the basket.
There is a double-double now for Aaliyah Wilson, 10 points with that 15 rebounds, and a 10-point lead, make that 11 for the Whai as the Hoiho call timeout. It's verging on miracle areas, you'd think, from here down 11. Crazier things have happened, though, as we know, particularly in the game of basketball. What do you feel like the message will be here? Obviously, going to have to play at a frenetic pace again, get the ball up the court, get it to Hurst. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to look at putting a lot of pressure on that ball carrier, looking at the double team and trying to take off that next pass, try to create a few turnovers up the end of the court so they can get a couple of early quick baskets. They're going to have to put the pressure on, and they're going to we're going to probably start to see them fouling and putting them on the line, trying to see whether they can get the possession back that way.
Whai in the box seat here to finish third. They were outplayed yesterday by the Kahu. They've bounced back here, particularly after trailing early against this Hoiho squad. Michaela Cowling put the team on her back in the second half. 19 of her 25 points. Defensive Player of the Year and member of the All-Star 5. To advance the ball, the Hoiho.
And hasn't she been amazing in the second half? Michaela Cowling certainly did come alive, and you know players like that are so dangerous when they haven't been firing and they haven't had a good scoring half. You know they're going to come out in the second half, and you've got to be really, really wary of that.
Bradley just keeps it in. She'll drive. I think the Whai will settle for that.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to give away any fouls here, so here's that double teaming, pressure on the ball. It's a little enthusiastic by, was it Samara Gallagher there with a foul? No fouls to give, so they'll be heading to the TAB stripe.
This could be quite a long 1 minute and 13 seconds, you feel here, with the Hoiho down by 9. They're going to hack away and send the Whai to the TAB stripe.
The Whai have been getting to the stripe a lot more than the Hoiho this game, but they're still only shooting 76%. So 3 out of 4. If you take those odds and start to chip away, get another point back, take a bit quick possession, get another quick 2. Paige Bradley driving and looking either for herself if the C's part and it opens up, or who knows, she can pass the ball.
Well, there you go. That's why you do it. Wilson misses both. Here come the Hoiho through Bradley. Got to get going. Lane opens up. Oh, swats it out of the way, Aaliyah Wilson.
Oh, she did everything to get exactly where she needed to be, but the outstretched arms of, wow, look at that elevation and that lift and that hang time.
So there's a foul away from the ball. And we're going to have one shot here from the TAB. It's a one shot and possession. So this is handy here for the Hoiho.
Certainly is. I mean, that's what we talked about with the reason why you put pressure on, why you foul. With a minute to go, it might be frustrating for non-basketball aficionados to watch because they think that's the only 1 minute to go and we're going to get a little bit of injury time and then we'll be done, right? But no, this 1 minute can sometimes last 20.
Well, the foul was before the ball was inbounded, hence the one attempt at the free throw line and possession. So it's an 8-point ball game with 1:05 remaining. Bradley, Wilson locked in, gets the switch, finds Tyler Mitchell, doesn't mind a three, leaves it short though. And another whistle and a foul, and a trip to the TAB awaits. This time it's going to be McKenna Dale.
Well, it certainly is, and I don't mind that three from Mitchell. She needed to put it up. Paige Bradley drove to the lane. Nothing was opening up. The defense did a good job of collapsing on her in there and leaving Mitchell wide open out on the wing. And she was knocking those down last night against the Queens, so you don't mind that shot.
Dale will look to add to her tally. 25, make that 26 points. Matches her effort yesterday in the semi-finals. And now surpasses it as the Whai call another timeout with 55 seconds remaining and a deficit of 9.
It's only 3 threes. It's only 3 threes. But McKenna Dale, what a season that she's had. I feel like she's a find for Basketball New Zealand as well. She's got the Kiwi passport. We know that she might... Are we going to see McKenna Dale suiting up in black with a fern on her chest?
Well, I was in commentary yesterday with Casey Frank. He had McKenna Dale on Hoop Heads, the radio edition, said that's very much what McKenna Dale would like to do. It's just going to come down to that passport issue, I believe, in terms of you're only allowed one naturalised player in the Tall Ferns, but Guy Malloy, certainly the Tall Ferns coach, have been very impressed by McKenna Dale. What a season she's had.
I don't think you can look too much past her, so let's hope we can sort that paperwork, let's call it paperwork issue out.
Well, she did play for the junior Tall Ferns back in 2016 before heading back to the States, Brown University, and off to Virginia University. Now back in New Zealand, certainly a find in the sophomore season of Tauihi. And a big reason why the Whai find themselves 10 points to the good here.
And talk about, you know, performances in the sophomore season of the league, and this Hoiho team coming from last season, winning 1 game, being so far out of playoff run, playoff hunt, coming in competition this year, stamping their mark, taking the Queens to the limit in the semi-final last night, and probably coming up unlucky not to get there. Could have gone either way, and giving a great effort here in this game for 3rd and 4th.
And let's not forget, for the last 2, almost 3 weeks, they've been without the league MVP, Ashton Prechtel. Such a shame. We don't want to see players sidelined at all. Huge loss.
And you never like to say that one player makes all the difference, and certainly I love the way that the Hoiho have responded and reacted and changed their game without having a force like Ashton on the court. But you're absolutely right, it's been a blow for not just the Hoiho, for the league, because she was just a joy to watch.
Hurst makes them both from the TAB. 8-point ball game here. Full court pressure once more by the Hoiho, and they foul again. It's going to be one of the longest minutes of your life. And a trip to the TAB awaits.
See the Sky commentary and the Sky production team sitting there looking at the clock going, how much time do we have in actual broadcast for this minute to go on?
Well, at 5:30, we will be going to grand final highlights of last year. Half an hour package, and then at 6, the big one, the Kahu and the Queens. So hopefully we'll be there on time.
If this 48 seconds takes 14 minutes, we're all in trouble.
10-point ball game. Bradley, they got to go. Look good off the hand. Just away. And another foul on the rebound. I think we got about 8 seconds actually away of that 48 there. We're down to 40. And the Whai could take a mortgage on the TAB here at this right end of the Rauparaha Arena in Porirua. That's where they're going to return here and shoot 2 more. 23 free throw attempts on the game for the Whai.
And a chance for McKenna Dale to add to her 27. I must admit, when I was a player, I used to love these these freebies at the end of the game and get your stat line up.
Well, hasn't missed from the TAB stripe either, McKenna Dale. I haven't put the mock runner there either. 6 from 6.
Oh, you're better than Justin Nelson. He's the worst with the commentator's curse. So let's see what the Hoiho do with this possession.
Hurst fires away, makes. They just stay in with a stiff. They ate up 10 seconds there. And McKenna Dale will return to the TAB to shoot a couple more.
And you say that's why the teams do this. You just one opportunity to get the foul shots not falling at the other end, turn around and hit a 3 like that, and you suddenly almost start to chip away and get back into the game. And 9 points, 30 seconds, it is a big stretch, but it's not impossible. We've seen strange things.
And there we go. The first miss from the TAB for the afternoon for McKenna Dale. This keeps the door marginally open for the Southern Hoiho. Dale makes the second note. 10-point ball game. Bradley gets it to Hurst. She'll fire away Elise Hurst. It's wayward. Wilson passes it to a Hoiho player, excuse me. Bradley can't make it. The Whai get it back this time. They're going to avoid the foul. That was last touch by Elise Hurst, and we're down to 12 seconds.
Is it bad that I was actually just wanting the ball to stay in play, get away from the defense, hoping they're not going to hit that foul, but what an effort.
And there is another foul here, I believe. No, a foot out of bounds, in fact.
So ball is turned over, and with 10 seconds to go, and 10 points on the board.
And a Sky City player timeout, just for good measure.
Well, the Whai have done an amazing job, an incredible job. All credit to them in the second half. They were certainly on the wrong end of the scoring tally in the first half. Couldn't find a basket, and the Hoiho came out with absolute frenzied pressure and performance, hitting shots early to go up with an early lead. The Whai have clawed this all back in the third and the fourth.
Here's Bradley with it now. Got to get a shot up quick, you'd think. Hurst, oh, great pressure, Kirasome. Zoe Richards, I think they're just going to dribble it out here now eventually. They've given up the ghosts. And the Whai finish the sophomore season at GJ Gardnerholm's Tauihi Aotearoa in third position, clawing their way back, as you said, Megan, after that frenetic start by the Hoiho to win 82 points to 72 on the back of a 30-piece from McKenna Dale.
And a 25-piece from Michaela Cowling, and what a great effort by the Whai. Congratulations, third place in the 2023 Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa, but all credit to the team, all credit to Mel Bennett. She obviously got her team firing at halftime. She changed up when she needed to. She made adjustments, particularly at the defensive end, and they came away with the W. But again, want to just a big shout out to this Hoiho team. What an amazing comeback from where they were at last year to come into this playoff final series, and could have very easily been them in the finals tonight. They didn't quite manage to pip the Queens at the post, and they get a great effort tonight.
100%, yeah, the Hoiho just jumped out of the blocks, 27-17 lead at quarter time. Whai claw their way back. It was just a 3-point ball game in favour of the Southerners at halftime, and it really was that third quarter where they held things up. The Hoiho held to just 11 points in that third quarter. It's when the Whai got the lead, and they never relented from there.
And the holding Zoe Richards, who had such a good first half, and Elise Hirsch, who came out firing in the first quarter, held to no points in the third quarter. That was a difference maker. The Whai were able to claw back.
Let's go to Brooke Rusko, and for the second time this afternoon, he's got McKenna Dale.
You're right, second time this afternoon, you end up with 30 points. It's always tough to get up for a third game, but it's always better to win or lead the season on a win.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, we wish we were in the championship game, but, you know, our team we're going to fight every single time. We're going to play hard, and no matter what the stakes are. So really excited to get third place, you know, better than fourth or fifth, so super happy.
How about your season personally? It felt like every game you went from strength to strength. You finished the season on 30. Last night they missed you when you got into foul trouble, still had 26. But each game personally, it was like you're getting better and better and better.
I mean, it's really easy to play with the players on my team. Like, we got Michaela, Aaliyah, who, you know, really create so much space for me. When there's kind of more attention directed to them, like, it kind of opens the floor a little bit. So super lucky to be playing with players like that. It kind of makes my life a little bit easier, so.
Well, congratulations. Hopefully we get to see you in the black jersey. It's great to have you here this year.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thoughts there of McKenna Dale as we take a look at the head-to-head stats, and Megan, just that offensive rebounding again from the Whai, 18 to 12. It's not a strength of their game, but they showed up on the glass tonight.
They certainly did. There was obviously a really strong scout that went into the Whai's way that they approached this team going into this third and fourth playoff. But you have to say, there's nothing in the stat lines with the differences, the offensive rebounds and the foul count. The foul count leading to the Whai, getting to the foul line, shooting 20 of 27. That's the margin right there.
After this, we are going to the highlights of the 2022 GJ Gardner Holmes Tauihi final. That's at 5:30, and then at 6 o'clock, lock it in. The Kahu, will they put their name on the trophy, or will the Queens go back-to-back? That Kahu squad, goodness gracious me, Tess Madgen has been on fire since being a mid-season addition. Can she lead the Kahu to their first title? Cannot wait for that one. Would hate to call it, which is a good thing because I'm not calling it. It'll be Justin Nelson and Casey Frank. Stick around on Sky Sport.
Well,